She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Guess what tomorrow is? Oh my gosh, it's coming. It's Valentine's Day. And do you know that there are millions of women that are going to send themselves flowers tomorrow? In fact, they're ordering them right now. 80% of the women, when they've been asked why do they send themselves flowers, is because they want to show that they are being appreciated or that they're loved. They at least want to, put on a show that they're being appreciated or loved. Gosh, to me, that just seems so sad that we live in a world where there are people in our modern day society who feel unloved, that feel unappreciated, so much so that they're actually going to order flowers for themselves to create an appearance that they are being encouraged or loved or thought of on that day. So what does that bring us to? Today on the Dani Johnson Show, here on this Tuesday, right? We're talking about what? We're talking about the fact that we can spread love in the workplace. Every single Tuesday we set aside this particular show to be about tips for the marketplace, tips for work. And if your chosen profession is a parent and a full-time caregiver of the home, and that's your chosen profession, then that's your marketplace, that's your workplace. But if you are working outside of the home, then your job or your business, that is a place. And so how can we show love? What are some ideas that we can have today that we can talk about that can show appreciation and encouragement? Because isn't that really what it's all about? It's making someone feel special and important tomorrow, February the 14th. So we're giving you one little day in advance of a way to actually show something a little bit special to some special someones that you're working with today. So we asked this question on Facebook of our viewers and listeners of the Dani Johnson Show to get some ideas. We wanted to hear, how are other people going to do that? How can they spread love, kindness, encouragement? How can they even surprise somebody that is not expecting it, right? There's some people maybe in your office that, everyone's expecting that person's going to get showered with all kinds of love. But what about the one that maybe might get ignored? How can you do something a little different, a little special for that person? And do you have to spend a bunch of money? No, you don't have to spend a bunch of money to do it. Kindness is something that can be given by a handwritten note on a piece of paper. Even if you do something as draw something. Where you're like, Dani, what does this have to do with me succeeding in the marketplace? Has everything to do with it. In fact, I believe that encouragement is something that we should be giving on a daily basis. Do I do it every single day? I probably fail more than I want to, but it is definitely something that I work on. And it's something that you can work on that can elevate your value in the marketplace. But let's not talk about you elevating yourself. Let's talk about elevating others. Because if you do elevate others, then by golly, you will reap what you sow. If you focus on elevating others and you focus on helping other people succeed, then you are automatically going to be elevated yourself, especially in the eyes of those who you have elevated. So we're going over the phones. We've got Nikita from Dubai. Wow. That's amazing. It amazes me how many people get affected from the program. Hello, Nikita. How are you?
Hi, Dani. I'm well. How are you?
Very good. I love your accent. How beautiful. So tell me,
thank you.
what are some ideas or what are your plans of how you can bring love or kindness or show something special to someone, especially with thinking about Valentine's Day taking place here shortly? What are some of your ideas?
Personally, I will usually pick up one person that I can focus on, if not more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to tell you that what I did in 2014 Valentine's with one of my colleagues who is a single parent with 5 children, and she was the sole breadwinner for the family. And she was almost resigned the job, and I was the team head for the team, and she was reporting into me. And what I did was that I knew that she was struggling to meet the ends, to make the ends meet for her family. So what I did was I approached a regular grocery store that I used to go, and I left her phone number with them, and I paid the extra money to the grocery store, and I also little extra for some chocolates and flowers for her, especially to be delivered to her on the Valentine's. And then I went outside and I called her from some random phone number, and I asked her that if she can come over and take the groceries because we have got it out from the surprise coupon that she has filled months ago, and which she has no clue about. And she says, but I never filled any coupon. How could this be? But then I said, I tried to act like a very polished salesperson. I said, ma'am, but you did. So you have to please come in because we have to wrap it up within today. And then she shouted at everybody, hey, I won a voucher and I'm going to be buying some groceries from that store. And then they called me, and then I never wanted to disclose that I did it.
Yes.
But then they said that we have to do it. So while she picked up on the X amount of the groceries from the store, I was in tears, standing behind and looking at her because she was in tears. Yes. And she couldn't have expected anything of this. And she said, my son needed this, and I never thought I could afford this and this and that. And it was like I couldn't wait to hug her, till the time she could finish her shopping. But then I had to wait till the time she finishes it. Yeah. And when it came to, she says, can I know how much my groceries are up to? And they said that this much amount one of your friends has contributed, and because she's doing it, so the store is contributing X amount just to make your day more special. So they gave her additional something to what I contributed. So then what I thought on that day was that it's not how big or how much you can do. It's whatever little capacity we have. If we can just transcend with love from the place of love, and it's gonna get multiplied, because I think we all like to appreciate it. We all love to get appreciated in small or the big way. And then I magically appeared in front of her, and she didn't know what to do because she was literally jumping out of joy that I did it. And it was quite a commotion for me and quite an emotional time. And she wasn't a Christian, but that gave me an opportunity to pray for her. We went to the loo and we prayed. And not only I have won a soul, but I have won a friend for life. Wow. So this is one of the very close to my heart incidents, which I really carry it with myself. Wow. And it has taught me that it is not about the flowers, it's not about the chocolates, it's about that small gesture that you matter, and we love you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you had me in tears. This was such a powerful story, Nikita. What an amazing, amazing thing you did. My gosh, such an incredible and amazing gift. And just think about, I can't imagine being that single mom with 5 children, and what a surprise. And look at how simple it is to do something like that. Literally how simple it is to squirrel away a little bit of money to be able to bless somebody like that. So oftentimes it's kind of like this. We see, we have a tendency of blessing who's above us. But I like that you blessed somebody who was hurting. And I don't think it's a bad thing to bless those above. If I hate using the above and beneath thing, because that's not a terrible way to explain it. But you understand, we have our colleagues, and then we have those who are following, or our leadership, or our management, or whatever. But I really love reaching into those places where people don't expect it. And so how beautiful, a single mom of 5 kids who are struggling, and to bless her right where she needed it, not with stuff she didn't need, but actually what she did need. And what an amazing moment. And I know that definitely inspired some other people who are listening right now. We got Diana from Sonora, California. Diana Terrazas joins us now. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Dani. How are you?
Oh, so good. So good to hear your voice. Good. So what about you? What are some ideas you have?
Well, that story was so incredible. Yeah. But mine was really simple. When I was in the workplace, something I would do on Valentine's Day was just really inexpensive. I'd just go get a bouquet of daisies or something from Safeway, a bag of Dove chocolates, and just split them up, and just place them on the desk of my fellow employees or coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, it lightened the workplace. It was just a day of being able to appreciate each other, kind of lightening up whatever underlying opinions or ideas any of us had about each other. It just kind of, it felt good to me to be able to do that. And sometimes you would get that person who maybe they weren't getting the appreciation or the gifts or, at home.
Yeah.
And it was just a nice little surprise. And so
yeah.
That was basically it. Just super simple, but it just kind of to let them know that I appreciated them.
Which again, it was so inexpensive too. I mean, what is a bouquet of daisies? Is it $5?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and I love what you did, spreading that to everybody. It reminds me of something that I did with our staff a couple years ago. Almost 2 years ago. Same thing. Okay, let me ask you a question. Were there any guys on your staff that you gave that flower to?
Not at this particular office.
Okay. Well, so this is what tipped me, because I was like, I want to see if there's any guys that did that, because they did the same thing. Our staff is, I don't know if it's 50-50 guys to women, but I know that we have a lot of guys in our office. I think it is. I think we might have more men than women. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, so I did the same thing. I went and I bought a bunch of flowers and a bunch of candy. And I handed out a rose. It was actually a rose. And I handed it out to all the guys and to all the girls. And just said a word of encouragement over all of them. And it was so wild, because my son, Roman, who happens to work inside the company in our IT department, who Roman, he came up to me, he goes, Mom, he goes, that rose meant so much to me personally. Thank you so much for doing that. I was like, wow. First of all, it's my son, right? Who's at the time 18 or 19 years old, and he's a man, and he's a man's man. Like he's not a metrosexual man. He's a man, like a big old hairy man. You know what I mean? Like he is testosterone on steroids kind of a guy. And so he's not the guy that, is this creative, well, but nonetheless, he's a guy. And so to hear that from such a testosterone overload man, and it being my son also, who could have been like, that was the dumbest thing. Why would you give a guy a flower? But he just said, Mom, I felt so honored. I like that you did this for everybody. He said, but just as a guy, he goes, it made me feel important. It made me feel loved that you gave me a rose. I was like, wow. So you just bringing that up just completely reminded me of the responses from the men and the women that were on our staff, that a flower actually isn't just for women, that it was actually nice for the guys to receive it as well. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more ideas right after this.
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hey everybody, my name is Digby and I'm from New South Wales, Australia, and I'm here live at First Steps to Success. I've been to 6 events now, and my journey started with an encore in Brisbane, and after doing 2 encores in Australia, I just really had to come to a live event, so here I am today. And since attending an encore and getting involved, my income has doubled and my family life is just blossoming. So you have to get there. You just have to experience it.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what poverty-stricken families are dealing with in Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic needs of food, clean water, and safe housing. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming Nicaragua. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Nicaragua. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities. And they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, it's that mushy-gushy day, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Some of you are dreading it. Some people are looking forward to it, but I've got an idea for it. We can use tomorrow to really show appreciation to the people in the workplace. This is the Dani Johnson Show, and every Tuesday we talk about work. We talk about either growing your career, we talk about solving problems in your career. I mean, we talk about every form of conversation that you can have when it comes to your work life, whether you're a business owner or you work for somebody that is. And today, our biggest tip on this Business Tip Tuesday is going to be about showing love and kindness and encouragement in the marketplace tomorrow, right? And we just heard three great ideas in the first segment of the show, but here's one that I want to talk to you about. There's going to be some $18 billion that's going to be spent tomorrow on Valentine's Day. Yes. Okay. And that actually isn't even an accurate number. That doesn't include all the people that will be going out to dinner, but we're talking flowers and cards and candy, gifts, those basic ones. That's a ton of money that is expected to be spent tomorrow. When I look at that figure in the billions, it causes me to think about some other places that money could actually go. It actually causes me to think, wow, we could hand write on a little note, on a piece of paper. We could even create a card rather than spending money on a card. There's so much more that we could do, and we've been talking about that all week, right? And even last week when we met together for the show, we also gave some ideas even last week on how to have a great Valentine's Day. But here's the facts. $18 billion, $18.2 billion, right? It makes me think about this. It makes me think about what we don't care about or what we choose to ignore. How so? Like this. Do you know that there's 4.5 million children right now circulating in the sex trade? 4.5 million children that have been forced to have sex with grown men, little boys and little girls. This could be your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your godchild, your grandson. This could be your neighbor's child. And by the way, this is happening in your town. It could be happening around the corner from you. And the facts is that there's only 600 beds available for rescuing these kids in the U.S. out of the sex trade. But there are 13,000 animal shelters, and people right now are spending money on Valentine's Day gifts for their dog. And yet, when they hear things like what I'm telling you right now, they turn a blind eye. Their heart is so hardened that they don't do anything about it. How could we live in a country where there's only 600 available beds for rescuing kids out of the sex trade, and yet we have 13,000 animal shelters? Goes to show you that we value pets more than we value our children. The children who have been forced to perform sexual acts that are supposed to be happening between a husband and a wife, but instead it's in a grown man with a 3-year-old boy, a 5-year-old girl. And even when these kids are forced to have sex and get pregnant, they're forced to have an abortion at 10 o'clock in the morning and be right back in that bed with another 10 men that day. You can put a stop to it. Instead of spending money for Valentine's Day, why don't we make a kid who's being rescued out of the sex trade our Valentine? Why don't we show our love and our kindness by expressing that love through our dollars going to building more beds and more rescue centers and more shelter and more food and clothing and loving counseling around these poor children who've been ripped from their homes, stolen from the innocents, and put into a very dark and evil, abusive place. Don't allow another little girl to grip a bed screaming as a man has approached her. You can help today. kingsransom.org. Again, that is kingsransom.org. You can see it right there. We're going to rescue 1,000 children from the sex trade, and we're going to do that now. And we're going to do that you joining us. So rather than spending hundreds of dollars on something that's going to die, let's spend hundreds of dollars on someone who can live and be rescued out of the pit of evil, where I'm telling you, evil is beyond evil in this place. We are doing this first in the U.S. and abroad. Go to kingsransom.org. Again, that's kingsransom.org. Give that $1 that you were going to spend on a card. Give the $5 you were going to spend on a card. Create a card instead, and you can help sponsor a child and make that child your Valentine today. Talk about an act of kindness. Quit being the people who care more about animals than you do about these poor children. Go to kingsransom.org right now and give what you can. Whatever budget is that you had set aside, I want you to double the budget and give it towards this campaign. Rescue 1,000. Rescue 1,000, kingsransom.org. Click on it and give now. We'll continue with more right after this.
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
My name is Andres and I'm from Latvia. Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was a struggling English teacher back home. I had a language school that I started when I was 21 and had grown it to be pretty okay in my city. But at the same time, I had acquired a debt of $60,000. In a matter of 8 to 9 months, I got rid of my debt. And by 2011, we had our first $1 million year. This has been amazing. We grew our school from about 100 students to 2,000 students, and I can only highly recommend for you to come to the next event and be part of this community and learn the tools that will help you to succeed.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, my family and I were hemorrhaging under the pressures of debt. Since attending First Steps to Success in January of 2014, my family and I have paid off over $147,000 in 19 months. We're completely consumer debt-free. We have restored relationships, and our business is growing at a rate of 15% at every event. Your next next step is to sign up for the next First Steps to Success and start creating your own story.
My name is Jeff Conyers, and prior to First Steps to Success, I was a struggling business owner. I had discovered that my business account went negative $5,000, and I realized that I did not have a business plan and I needed to do something. Fast forward to 1 year after, I have now created, just by implementing the tools at First Steps to Success, over $50,000, created another business, improved my personal and business relationships. Man, it's like the story is forever changing, and it just gets better and better. I don't know about you or what you're going through, but I would highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success.
Prior to plugging into First Steps to Success, we were drowning under a mountain of debt. We were heading to divorce court. We had failing businesses and toxic relationships. Since plugging into First Steps to Success, our marriage has been restored. We have paid off over $56,000 in 11 months. We've helped our community pay off over $300,000 in 14 months. My business has grown in over 600% in 4 months. And for the first time, I could say I'm just loving life. I have great relationships. So if you are fine where you are, then this event is not for you. But if you're ready to reach your goal and to change your life, then I highly recommend that you get registered for the next event.
Hi, my name is Jill Kearns. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Prior to coming to First Steps to Success, my husband and I were struggling financially and were hurting in our relationship a lot. We needed more time together, and we just were struggling with that because of the finances. And so since plugging in, we've actually paid off over $280,000 in debt. We're completely debt-free, and more than anything else, the look on my husband's face of relief and excitement about where our future lies, and the traveling and the fun, enjoyable times that we'll get to spend together as a family is totally worth it. So if you want to have better relationships with your significant other, your children, if you have a desire to be completely debt-free and released from that bondage for whatever reason, whatever the burdens are, your next step is to get to First Steps to Success right now.
So prior to getting started to DaniJohnson.com, I was a college dropout. I was working a bottom of the barrel type job. I started plugging into her training. I've skyrocketed through the ranks of corporate America. I've tripled my income in the last 5 years. That's all fine and dandy, but it wasn't, there's a part of me that had a part missing. So I ended up using Dani's prospecting skills, and I ended up meeting the love of my life. Since then, we've paid off $32,000 of debt since October 2014. So get here now. This is the greatest thing ever. You have to see this. The skills and strategies Dani teaches are unbelievable. They totally took someone like me with no education and helped me just like multiply my efforts. So you need to be here.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, I can't stand my coworkers. They drive me batty, nuts. I just want to, put my fist through the wall. What are you talking about showing kindness at work tomorrow? Listen, friend. You're driving yourself crazy. You got some heart issues. And if you want your workplace to change, then you got to change how you see the people you're working with. You have to see the good that is in them. You have to choose to see what they're doing right. You have to choose to try to even get to know who they are and where they're actually coming from. Quit reacting to their personality different than yours and begin to see that perhaps there's a purpose for the difference between you and them. And tomorrow is a great day to really highlight the things that you like or that you want to like about the people that you're working with. You can actually change the entire mood all in a single moment by words of encouragement or a post-it note that's got something nice and precious that you're writing on it. Even if tonight you choose to bake some cookies or bake some brownies or pull those loose ingredients that you have in your house, some flour, some butter, some sugar, look up a recipe and you're going to make something good out of it and come into the office tomorrow or wherever it is that you work and just bring blessing. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. Put some heart and some effort into it. Put some thought into it. Change the workplace by doing things like that. We're talking about, yes, spreading kindness and love. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Make sure that you are not caught as one not doing nothing for no one. I know for me personally, I'll be sponsoring some kids that are in the sex trade. I want to create some Valentines and some memories with those children who are suffering right now because they are being raped 10, 15, 20 times a day. What will you do for tomorrow? Who will you help? Who will you bring kindness to? Will you do it at work? Will you rally the troops at work even to come together and do something greater with the money that we normally would have spent, that we could do something so powerful? One kid at a time, we can change a life. One child at a time, we can change a life. By the way, if you haven't heard about that Rescue 1000, go to kingsransom.org. Spread the love, baby. Spread the love. Get these kids out of that nasty place and let's help to create some beds for them to have some healing. kingsransom.org. Now we're going over to Tom Curtis. We're talking about showing kindness in the marketplace. Tom, you're from Austin, Texas. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Austin's beautiful. Yes, right up the road is right. Okay, so what about you? What is going to be your focus on Valentine's Day in the workplace?
Laughter.
Ooh, my gosh. Tell me more about that. That is so good. Talk to me.
Well, my workplace isn't very big. Right now it consists of my wife and I. And she's my favorite person to make laugh.
Wow.
But as an example, this doesn't necessarily relate to the workplace, but this is something that I do to help people to laugh. And this is what anybody can do. Is whenever it's somebody's birthday and I see it on Facebook, I always post either a hilarious video of myself just looking ridiculous or an image of the same thing. And so I think that can be done even on Valentine. Like, if somebody, it's obvious if somebody is, down in the office and it's not looking good for Valentine's Day, just send them a funny image or make a video of just you being ridiculous. It's so easy. It's free. And I can speak from experience, having made myself look incredibly ridiculous on multiple occasions. And that's the response I get most of the time from people is, oh my gosh, you make me laugh all the time. Or that's exactly what I needed today.
Wow.
It's awesome. It just feels good to do that.
Okay, Tom, I'm dumbfounded right now because I'm going to tell you something. As soon as you said laughter, like something jumped inside of my spirit. Laughter is medicine for the soul. Laughter is medicine for the soul. And so when you look at that, okay, and joy brings strength. Joy brings peace. Joy is the gateway even for love. It's a gateway for hope. And so there's really a lot to what you're saying. You might think, okay, it's silly. No, this is huge, especially to us serious people. I really appreciate people who make me laugh. Like, it's high value in the marketplace, to be honest with you. It's high value at home, like big time high value. This is huge, Tom. This isn't something small. Okay, so give me some other ideas. Okay, so you make a dumb video of yourself. I love that you're so humble that you can say, yeah, just, make yourself look like an idiot. That's going to doesn't that stand out of all the flowers, of all the chocolate, right?
It does.
It totally stands out. It's totally unique. It's totally going to be memorable. Like, someone's not going to forget that. Okay, so what are some other things that you've done to make people laugh? Because give me some ideas. I'm one of those people that don't make people laugh. I'm one of those people, my kids will tell you, like, my mom's kind of serious. I try my very best, but I kind of suck in that department. But go ahead. Give me some other ideas.
Well, recently, Christmas time, I was at Marshall's shopping with my wife, and straight across the store, I saw the Holy Grail, an elf costume, just like from the movie. I was like, I have to have it. It will be mine. So I rushed right over to it, and of course, I took it to the dressing room. I put it on, and I walked around the store.
Oh my gosh! And
then I decided, well, I'm going to do that a lot more often. So I went to H-E-B, the grocery store. I walked around in my elf costume.
No way! Are you serious?
I went to the aisle with the syrup. I grabbed the syrup. I put a ton of syrup in the cart.
Oh my gosh! Okay, wait.
I don't know. It's just stuff like that where it's like.
How do you think of this stuff? How do you think of this stuff?
Because I'm crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what I wish is I had
It feels good.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
You know what? It's so funny because some of us, the only thing that makes us, not the only thing, but when we think about what makes us feel good, there's certain personalities that it's just all about, helping people, you know what I mean? Serving the poor, like this whole Rescue 1000. It's a very serious campaign. You know what I'm saying? I'm so passionate about this. Or the 1,000 homes. Those things. It's like, yeah, that stuff makes you feel good. But you're so right. Laughter. also makes people feel good. It makes the person who's spreading the laughter and the person receiving the laughter feel good. I think that we largely don't recognize that as a very important value to have, is spreading laughter. Okay, I'm inspired. I don't know that I'm going to put an elf costume on and go to H-E-B, but you have definitely inspired me. I think I'm going to shock Hans with researching on the internet, trying to find ways to do something funny, because I need that kind of help.
Tell him you can have the elf costume for next year.
I don't know. Okay, I'm going to think about something that'll make me live outside of myself. Okay, you are stretching me, right? I got to go. I'm sweating now. I'm serious, man. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, seriously, to make somebody laugh, like, I have to, like, have an out-of-body experience to try to plan laughter. Okay, I'm going to work on that. Okay, Tom, if you think of any other funny things that people could do to spread laughter, please write it on Facebook. Come over to the Facebook page. I don't know if you've been to our Facebook page. Yes, you've been to our Facebook page, but come to that Facebook page and write it on our wall. Like, can you give me 10 ideas? I need help. I suck at this. I'm so bad at it. But this is your strength, and I can follow directions. So, would you be willing to help me out? Can you coach me on making my husband laugh?
Yes, I will post. Can I post a photo on there?
Yes. Yes, you can totally post a photo right on our wall.
I've got photos and I've got video of the elf cup.
Okay. So give me some instructions. I'm good at instructions. Teach me how to be funny for Valentine's Day for my husband. This is going to be the greatest day ever. I'm so excited. Okay, cool. This is so cool. I'm totally inspired. This is amazing because it's going to shock my family. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, we got Tammy Griffin from Missouri. Tammy, what's your idea of spreading? Tammy, first of all, I can't just go run over this. What do you think about what Tom just said? Tony, where are you? Can you hear me? Tony. Tammy Griffin. That's why. You're not Tony, you're Tammy. Tammy. Oh no, are you muted? Tammy. I'm going to cry. I really want to hear what she has to say. Okay, Tammy Griffin. Tammy, can you hear me? She can't. We're going to figure out. Tammy Griffin, Missouri. Okay, well, phooey. Okay, hold on. Patel from Israel. Okay, Patel from Israel. What did you think about what Tom just said?
I thought it was hilarious. I could think of a few ideas myself.
Really? I think it's brilliant. And you know what I'm shocked about is that anyone actually thinks of doing that. Like, thinks of giving laughter. Laughter is a gift and so needed in today's world. So you think that's a good idea?
Yes, I make people at my job laugh so much. Sometimes my boss has to look over and get away from her. She could do this all day.
Are you serious?
Work sometime.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Patel, so I want to hear your idea, but I really want someone to teach me how to be funny. I really, really struggle in this department, and I really struggle in being fun. Like, I really am horrible at being fun. So, my fun is serious, like putting on a dinner party. Like, Shabbat is serious, you know what I mean? It's like making all this food, creating the environment for everybody to have a good time, but I'm always working in it. You know what I mean? I'm the busybody in all of it. Okay, so we're going to continue with more right after this. And Patel, I want you to teach me how to be funny, and I want to hear your idea for Valentine's Day. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Stay right here for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was working 60 to 75 hours a week. I was completely stressed out. I was incredibly angry with my husband. We were in over $350,000 worth of debt. By applying the strategies that Dani teaches, in the last 3.5 years, we have paid off $170,000 in debt. We are no longer roommates, and we no longer spend every single cent that we make. We now have made tens of thousands of dollars in passive income in investments. We are on the right track. We're traveling around the world together, and we are building homes for those who really need it. So I don't know about you, but if you want to cut back from 60 to 20 and 30 hours a week, if you want to mend some relationships, if you want to make your life more efficient and a lot more fun, and you want to be the best version of you, I highly recommend that you get registered because your life is about to change.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, First Steps to Success in Creating Dynasty, my wife and I were really lost. We were struggling in a relationship. We were struggling financially, drowning in debt. Our relationship was really broken. We were in a bad place. We were living in two completely different states and not really honoring each other. Once we got plugged into the community, we noticed a shift in our lives. Most importantly, we came together as a husband and wife. That was the first thing we did. And when we finally came together under the same roof, things started to change. Over the past 3 years, we've been able to pay off over $495,000 in debt. I know in my business, I've had a job created for me that increased my income by 50%. That has actually opened up the door to allow my wife and I to spend more time with each other. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if your relationship is super awesome. I don't know if your job is immaculate. I don't know if you're debt-free. But what I do know is if you're not any one of those things, your next step is to get plugged into DaniJohnson.com, go on the website, get plugged into the community. I promise you, your life will never be the same.
And prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was a broke college student, drowning in debt, and I felt like the world was crashing all around me, and I had bad relationships. Since plugging into DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, I was able to pay off $6,600 in 4 months. Now I'm able to give 10% of my income to wherever my heart desires. I actually, using the skills that I learned from Dani, I actually landed a job before I graduated college, and I'm able to travel the world. All I know is if you're serious about annihilating your debt, traveling in the world, helping people, and having fun doing so, I highly recommend you get registered for the next First Steps to Success. Do it now, don't wait, don't even thinking about it. If you're ready to change your life, just do it.
We went to our first ever First Steps to Success just 10 weeks ago, and it has definitely been life-changing ever since.
We felt like we got hit by a 2x4, but it was the best 2x4 because what we realized is that our priorities were clearly out of line. I had been building a home-based business and had been working 80 to 100 hours, and I realized that that is not my role, and that I had actually taken my husband's, and it was that realization that something had to change, and we immediately went home and changed everything. There was no hesitation. We said, you know what, we need to be obedient to God.
And we've implemented the tools day one. We started implementing what Dani taught us, invested in ourselves, invested in our kids, got our priorities in line. We've now actually paid off just not quite $60,000 in debt and looking at a couple more investments here as head of the household.
It's been absolutely incredible. So I just encourage you, if any of this speaks to you, if you're wanting to get out of debt, if you're wanting better communication, if you're wanting to elevate to the higher level of life, get to First Steps to Success and plug into DaniJohnson.com.
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Laughter. I mean, literally, Tom from Austin just like completely hijacked this entire show. He sent me off on a wild goose chase that I know I need. I need help being funny. So if you have any ideas, because I'm really bad at it. I really am. I'm really, really bad at being funny. I'm bad at bringing laughter. I'm the kind I want to serve you. I want to help you. I want to see your life change. I want to give. I want to do all those things. But laughter is like a giant void You know what I'm saying? Void. Enormous. Well, here's one thing I could tell you. I'm sweating like a pig right now. Oh my gosh. I'm dying here in my studio. This is awful. Okay, so we got Batel. She said that she would promise me to teach me how to be funny. Okay, so Batel from Israel. Batel, we're coming to Israel. We're going to be there in a month. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be in the land you get to live in every day. Amazing. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait to see all of you.
I know. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to hug your neck. Okay, so what is your idea? And by the way, do they do a Valentine's Day in Israel? Is this traditional in Israel also?
There's actually a Jewish Valentine Day, according to the scripture biblically. It's on a different date, though.
Okay. I know what it is. I know exactly. It was in Shiloh. It was in Shiloh when the tribe of Benjamin, right, where they were almost completely slaughtered, huh? This is that day, huh?
I'm not sure about that. I can tell you the name of it.
What's the name of it?
It's called Tu B'Av. It's the 15th of the Av month. And they used to biblically go around the field, everybody wearing white clothes and just dance.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
You know history better than I do.
Okay, yes. No, it is from that. It's from when the tribe of Benjamin was almost completely slaughtered by their brothers, right? And so it was their time of Eli. It was during his reign when he was the high priest. And so they almost slaughtered everybody. So then they made an edict that all of the singles, the single men, needed to get together with the single women of the tribe of Benjamin and to come together, find love, and they created again. Now, they started to build up the tribe of Benjamin again. So that is what that holiday is from. But you're right. That is their own version. Okay, so what's some way to, first of all, teach me how to be funny? If you're making your coworkers laugh all the time, help me.
Honestly, I think it's just the way my brain is wired. You can just make everything funny. Like my best friend is the opposite of me, of my personality, and she would literally go to the store and anything that I would love, she would hate. Everything I would hate, she would want to buy. So just do the most unnatural, ridiculous thing you can think of not doing. Just go do that.
Okay, I'll try. I need help.
That helps.
I need some direct instructions. Okay, so tell me, how can you add kindness in the marketplace? Back to the question.
Okay. So what I personally learned from you is to write thank you notes, and I have a stack of them in my first drawer at work. And about once a month, I write a thank you letter. I have 3 bosses, to my personal boss, to the CEO, and the owner. And the owner loves them so much. Last time I brought him one, I saw he keeps them all in a stack right next to his desk. And he tells me he goes over them from time to time. You can just tell he always comes personally to my desk to thank me because I thank him from the job that he gave me, for providing for my family when we have a hard time. I just say I pray for him and his family and for everything to work out. And last year, he gave me, I was supposed to receive a $900 bonus, and he knew I was using the money to go to First Steps, to the seminar. And he gave me a phone call a day before I left, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to round it up to $1,000 for you. Is that okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Wow, that is so precious. That's amazing. So this is to the CEO of the business that you're working for?
This is the owner of the company I work for.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? Because you know what? Oftentimes the owners, people usually hate them or they don't appreciate them. But look what you've done. That's amazing. Okay, so you have a stack of thank you cards. You write those out and you give them to people in the workplace. That's an amazing tip. And I think it's an important one. No question. Batel, thank you so much for your efforts in trying to teach me how to be funny. I will go ahead and work in the opposite direction. Thank you so much for the tip on, yes, thank you cards is a great way to spread kindness in the marketplace, especially with Valentine's Day around the corner. We got Tammy Griffin from Missouri. Tammy, is the line working now?
Yes.
Oh, yay. Hey, okay, so I was trying to ask you a question earlier. So what did you think about Tom Curtis's response about laughter?
Oh, gosh, I love that. I was going to tell you to make a funny face.
Right now?
Your seminars even.
Okay, so
you were making me laugh by sweating like a pig.
Yeah, I'm sweating like a pig. Like, I'm serious. Actually, pigs don't sweat. Where did that statement ever come from? Pigs actually don't sweat. That's so dumb. Okay, anyway, but I'm sweating as a pig should. That's for sure. I'm literally, like, I'm pulling my hair up right now. You can see the cords that are in my ears. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm doing it. And why? I am hot. Okay. And then, of course, you know, I don't know if my body is changing or not, but I think I'm not even going to say that. Okay. So what is your, I'm not even going to go there. So Tammy, what is your idea of spreading love and kindness and joy in the marketplace, especially with Valentine's Day here up on the horizon?
Okay, well, I believe in being a secret agent for God.
Yes, I love that.
I have brought that into my family. My children, I challenge them every day to do something, and I've even, you know, asked them to step out from the norm. Like, it's safe. You're in a safe zone doing it for mom and dad or brother or sister or aunt and uncle. Step out to a stranger. Because I believe that every single thing that we do, you might see it as something so tiny, but it could be something huge. Wow. And so something that I did is a mirror clothespin. I have clothespins, and I keep them in my home, ready in my little craft box, and I'll decorate the clothespin. And I had been writing on the clothespin, but I went a little step further, and I got some really pretty bright colored paper, and I cut little squares, and I used the real fun scissors and like an edging. Yeah. And then I pray over every single piece of paper, and I really listen to God to tell me what to write. And it might be a statement about them. It might be a word, just something. And I did this at a conference one time for I was the goodie bag girl, you know, because everybody loves the little fun things that I do. But I did this, and it is crazy how God just you just listen. And I came up with all kinds of different things. And when we passed them out in the bags. So, of course, no one could see them. And being the person that did them, we didn't get a bag till we made sure all the other ladies had their bag, and everybody got one. And the crazy thing is, the day before, or the first day, I had several women coming up that maybe they were telling me that they got prayed for, and that exactly what I wrote on their clothespin paper was exactly what they needed to hear. Wow. Or that someone had actually prayed that over them. Wow. And to go even further, I'm sitting in the conference, I'm in the back, and I reach in to get a tissue out of my bag that I got on the second day. And my water had spilt inside my bag. And so I was cleaning it up, and I reached down, and my clothespin, I was full on bawling. And because my own clothespin that I wrote that I didn't know was mine was exactly on point of what I needed to, know and hear. Wow. And so I just believe on being that secret agent, doing, I know this sounds crazy, but I will go on people's Facebook and see maybe something that they, a quote that they've written. And I'll go and try to, I can create this, and I'm going to leave it. And I don't even have to tell them that it's from me.
That's right. Oh, my gosh, Tammy, this is amazing. Secret agent for God. That's incredible. Yeah. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life. This is The Dani Johnson Show. Did you know you can take The Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work. to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what poverty-stricken families are dealing with in Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic needs of food, clean water, and safe housing. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming Nicaragua. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Nicaragua. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, so he did it. Tom actually left us a video. Check this guy out. Absolutely nuts. All right, so listen, I know that tomorrow is a big day for some of us, and some of us, we're kind of setting ourselves up for a failure. You don't have to set yourself up for a failure. If you're not expecting something from anyone, why don't you make the focus of who can you bless on Valentine's Day instead of waiting to be blessed on Valentine's Day? You got to go offensive mindset on this thing. Don't be hanging back on the defense. I want you to have a plan of action about how you can bring kindness and love. Be that secret agent, what you just heard Tammy talk about. How amazing. You can do what Diana talked about, which is getting, a bouquet of flowers is like $3 or $5 and spreading them around to everybody that is in your office or whatever. Or that secret agent thing of asking God to tell you exactly what somebody actually needs to hear. And laughter. Come on. I know not all of us are very good at that. I know I'm not. But, you can put some time and effort into learning from people who are good at that. There's some personalities that they're awesome at making people laugh. And there are other personalities that are awesome at bringing a lot of seriousness. That would be me. Anyway, so we know that today was helpful and beneficial, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. Please come on over to our website, DaniJohnson.com. That's DANI Johnson.com. You're going to find lots of free materials on there. If you want to grow your career, you want to double your income, you need some money tips, you need some relationship tips, they're all on the website, DaniJohnson.com, and they're free. Take advantage of what you've got available to you. You want videos, you want television shows, what do you want? We've got it on the site, and we would love to help you succeed wildly in the marketplace. Also, if you have not gotten a hold of our podcast, you can listen to the podcast. It's the Dani Johnson Podcast on your iPhone or your Android. We also have an app, the Dani Johnson app, that you can listen to this show every day right on the app as well. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can find us there. Just subscribe and you get notifications whenever we're live on YouTube or whenever we are posting new content there. So we're here to help. We're here to serve. I'm going to work on making you laugh, but I can certainly help you pay off your debt. I can certainly help you have more sex with your spouse. I can certainly help you help your kids be better, more respectful, more honorable, and bring some harmony and peace in the house. I'll work on the laughter part, I promise. I'm going to make that part. Yeah, I think I have to set a goal. Otherwise, I'm not going to accomplish it. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. Please leave us a comment. You can do that right on our website from today's program. And you can also share this on all of your social media places. Give some people some ideas before it's all said and done. So, listen, we're grateful for you. We really, really are. Thank you so much for supporting us, supporting this program. Thank you for supporting it by spreading the news about it and letting other people get a hold of these types of topics and messaging that is helping to improve their life. And also, thank you so much for helping us free and rescue 1,000 slaves from the sex trade, as that's what this show is dedicated for. God bless you. Have an awesome rest of the day on purpose. Bye.
If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been the Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.